Is your child a little angel but dumb as a doorknob? Don't you worry, folks. That's what I'm here for. Has your child never picked up a ball in his or her life? Or is unathletic in general? Don't you worry, because I can get him or her an athletic scholarship in no time, ma'am.
For those of you who don't know what an athletic scholarship, here's an example of one of our candidates who followed our program. Here we have Sienna, and she plays volleyball at Harvard University. Yeah, even though she's not really good, it's all about college here at College Hackers. And even though the coach gets disappointed and she sucks in general, she's still getting in that education.
Here at College Hackers, we provide a lot of secret services that are all legal. We lie. We hack. We steal. We fraud.
Pull up in a demon on guard, looking like I still do fraud.
That's 1-800-HACKERS.
Got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match.
Oh Lord, what has this world come to?
Mom, I really think you should hire someone to do my SAT for me so I can get a higher score.
Well, sweetie, all actions have consequences.
But why?
Let me tell you.
Consequentialism says that the moral quality of an action is completely determined by its outcomes. A key proponent in the consequentialism movement includes John Stuart Mill, who is an English philosopher. He argued for consequentialism, which was that if an act produces a good outcome, it is inherently good, and if an act produces a bad outcome, it is inherently bad.
Oh.
Another key proponent in this movement was Jeremy Bentham. Jeremy Bentham was also a philosopher who argued for utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a subsect of consequentialism, which, in other words, is a type of it. Utilitarianism argues that an action is the best if it provides the greatest good for the greatest number of people. Here we have a classic example of consequentialism, but more specifically utilitarianism. Here is a train-based example. A person is driving a train on a train track. The train can either go right or left. Going left on this train track would definitely kill 5 people whom you do not know. Going right on this train track would definitely kill 1 person who you do not know as well. What would you do in this scenario? Would you go left and kill 5 people, or only kill 1 person on the right? A utilitarianist would argue that killing 5 people has more damage than killing 1 person. Therefore, a utilitarianist would argue that killing 1 person is better than killing 5 people because killing only 1 person would benefit the greater good. In order for a consequentialist to make a morally sound choice, they must explicitly know the outcomes for their actions. Seeing as one cannot predict the future to see the outcomes before the choice is made, consequentialism is very impractical in this aspect. This commercial shows that the rich, spoiled teenagers, which constitute about 2% of the population, get automatic admission into some of the top-tier colleges by getting their ACT and SAT scores boosted, as well as other privileges. Now think about all these other students, who constitute about 98% of the population. They have to go through the general admissions process, preparing, studying, doing all this extra work, and not getting automatic acceptance in like these other rich students who may not even be as merit-based as they are.
Now, sweetie, you may be thinking that consequentialism doesn't apply to the real world, but it does. An example of consequentialism being used in the artistic community is the trash to art movement, in which artists take trash and convert it into beautiful sculptures. These artists hope to raise awareness of the growing problem of waste on the planet Earth and help to inspire others to produce less waste and be more conscious of their environmental footprint. Production of plastic and other materials that are one-time use may be cheap and convenient in the short term, but the sheer amount of plastic that is being produced and not being recycled causes long-term strain on our environment. This connects to consequentialism, as individuals may think that an action doesn't have a targeted effect on them, but can be harmful to people, plants, and animals. Overproduction of unnecessary materials and lack of widespread recycling processes produces negative outcomes on the environment and, as a definition of consequentialism suggests, is considered immoral as a result of these outcomes. Now, sweetie, consequentialism also relates to some of the books you have read in your English classes. In Chapter 1, the narrator tells his sons that they are not to participate in massacres, but Billy Pilgrim willingly sends his son Robert off to Vietnam, presumably to kill people. This difference between the narrator and Billy's choices exposes a fundamental difference between the two men's characters. Billy is resigned to war, while the narrator is trying to prevent fighting. By focusing on the suffering of individual human beings, such as the German refugee girls killed in the Dresden firebombing, Vonnegut shifts attention about the morality of war away from big questions of national policies and towards smaller, less justifiable instances of personal pain. Therefore, consequentialism is displayed when the father has to judge the morality of an action based on its perceived consequences. Okay, sweetie, do you understand more about consequentialism now?
Nope.
Okay, let's try again.
Nope, I got it.
Okay.